Whether the Cougars play in front of the BYU faithful here at the Marriott Center or here in Salt Lake at the Energy Solutions Arena, Coach Rose says there's a huge benefit to these games. As the seniors take the field one last time Saturday through this tunnel, Coach Mendenhall says there's one thing he'll remember most about this senior class. For the past 50 years, the Cougar Club has helped fund facilities like the Student Athlete Building and the IPF. While those facilities have been nice, Cougar Club members say their ultimate joy comes from helping the student athletes. You may think that all it takes to be a ref is being able to throw some flags and do some arm signals. However, you might be surprised just how much training and preparation goes into their job. Whether it's turkeys or gutter balls, the BYU Bowling League reels in an average of 56 bowlers a night, 3 times a week.
Rachel, the Cougar Club is celebrating their golden anniversary this year with the Big 5-0. Cougar reporter Reggie Lewis takes us down memory lane to remind us what the club has accomplished the last 50 years.
50 years! Since 1964, the Cougar Club has been there to help take BYU athletics to the next level. The club started with a small handful of members at the beginning. Now, they have over 5,000 members spread over all 50 states. The athletics department says the Cougar Club is an indispensable part of BYU sports. Executive Director Mike Middleton says that the club's role is simple.
So the Cougar Club is the booster club for all 21 sports at BYU. And it makes a difference by raising money for facilities, coaches' salaries, recruiting, everything the student athletes need.
For the past 50 years, the Cougar Club has helped fund facilities like the Student Athlete Building and the IPF. While those facilities have been nice, Cougar Club members say their ultimate joy comes from helping the student athletes.
I wanted to find a way to help them be successful in their athletics, which are very important to them, and also be successful in their academics. And I felt like Cougar Club is a way, that I could do that, and I could give back.
The Cougar Club donated $13.3 million in 2013. The money is distributed by Athletic Director Tom Homo, and Middleton says that it helps keep BYU athletics competitive in the world of college sports. At Lavelle Edwards Stadium, Reggie Lewis, CougTube.
The Cougar Club will be rolling out the red carpet for their 50th anniversary gala tonight at the Provo Marriott. Lavelle Edwards, Steve Young, and Ty Detmer will all be featured speakers.
A win tonight won't come easily for the Cougars. The Broncos protect their home turf better than anyone in the country. They've only lost 4 games at home since 2000. CougTube reporter Reggie Lewis is going to break it down for us. Reggie, why is this game important not only for the season, but for the future?
This game is so important because both programs are considered national powerhouses. The Broncos have the most wins of any FBS team since 2000, while the Cougars are 20th in that same time frame. Both teams are looking to cement their status tonight as the best non-Power 5 program. Respect and exposure. It's what the Cougars went searching for when they went independent 4 years ago. This week, that respect came from ESPN and college football coaches nationwide. 94 FBS coaches chose which non-Power 5 team was most deserving of a spot in a Power 5 conference. Their answer? BYU. The Cougars earned 24% of the vote, while tonight's opponent, Boise State, wasn't far behind with 19%. Even better for BYU, the Cougars earned 30% of the vote from coaches already in a Power 5 conference. Boise State finished second with just 16%. Tonight, those 94 coaches and the rest of the nation will get to see these two powerhouses face off in primetime on the Smurf turf.
This is a really good matchup against two really good teams, and it's definitely one that the fans and everybody should look forward to every year.
BYU enters the game with 3 straight losses, but the coaches are having the team look ahead, not behind.
All we focus on is 1 week at a time and try to look through the front of the windshield and not through the back rearview mirror. So we're going forward, and right now it's this week.
The team realizes this game is a chance to show the nation and every college coach that BYU is still the premier non-P5 program. BYU and Boise State have the best records of any non-P5 school since 2000, and that's part of the reason these two programs have earned so much respect.
So, Reggie, if Boise State has more wins since 2000, why did the coaches vote BYU as the best non-P5 team?
I think part of the reason is BYU's just been more nationally relevant since 1972 for a longer period of time. Since Lavelle Edwards took over as head coach during that time frame, we're 5th in total wins, and there's only 4 teams. The teams ahead of us are Nebraska, Oklahoma, Michigan, and Ohio State. Pretty
Wow,
impressive.
That is impressive. BYU's definitely in good company on that one.
The BYU basketball team has a lot of new faces on the team this year. CougTube reporter Reggie Lewis hopped over to the Marriott Center to find out why fans might recognize these new players, and they've never even seen them play before.
BYU fans might feel like they've gone back in time when they step into the Marriott Center this season because they'll hear some familiar names from years ago. BYU basketball is back, and there are some new players on this squad. This year's team includes some of the most iconic names in BYU history: Haas, Toulson, Chapman, and Nixon. All of these players have one thing in common: their dads and uncles were legends back in the day. For Dalton Nixon, that was one of the things that drew him to BYU.
I've always grown up hearing about my dad playing at BYU, and so that's why I always wanted to play here, is because I heard, my dad was a good player here, and I wanted to follow in his footsteps here at BYU.
Jake Toulson has not one, but 2 connections to BYU's past. His uncles are Danny Ainge and Andy Toulson, both top 20 scorers in BYU history.
Those are, my go-to guys that I can talk to because they've been through it. They've played at the highest level, and they know what they're talking about, so I'm lucky to have them.
For BYU fans who have been coming to the Marriott Center for a long time, these players might remind them of their relatives in some ways.
You see similarities with the different sons of their fathers, mannerisms maybe, when you see them from behind.
Fans hope these sons can provide many more great memories and legendary moments, just like their dads and uncles did years ago. The family ties will continue in the next few years with players like Nick Emery, TJ Haas, and Jacob Hartsock all returning from their missions. And this year's team also has Corbin Kafusi, whose brother Bronson played 2 years ago. Bridget? The Cougars are taking their talents to an NBA arena this weekend, and it's something they're not taking for granted. The BYU basketball team has played at Energy Solutions Arena every year since 2007. For players like senior guard Skylar Halford, playing at the ESA is more than just fulfilling a dream. It prepares the team for games later in the season.
The arena, it does have a different feel to it, I guess, as far as like an NCAA tournament type feel, and it's fun. It's fun to play in those arenas, and as long as we get a crowd there, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Whether the Cougars play in front of the BYU faithful here at the Marriott Center or here in Salt Lake at the Energy Solutions Arena, Coach Rose says there's a huge benefit to these games.
It allows us to stay close to home and still play really good competition. We've had great games in there over the years.
Some of those great games over the years have come against historic programs like Michigan State and Arizona. The team says it's a fun venue to play in and that competing there prepares them for the NCAA tournament. BYU has posted a 6-1 record at their home away from home. The team says they hope to add another W against the Hawaii Warriors tomorrow. At Energy Solutions Arena, Reggie Lewis, CougTube. Whether the Cougars play in front of the BYU faithful here at the Marriott Center or here in Salt Lake at Energy Solutions Arena, Coach Rose says there's a huge benefit to these games.